feel like that you lack freedom in your life and you wish to be less attached to maybe specific location, specific form of job, or just something else like inner freedom that you want to achieve in your life? In this video, we will talk about this, how to achieve this freedom, what it actually means, and what you need to trade to get it. Because we truly live in an age of Aquarius, and if we look around, different world events and tendencies just are pushing us to become even more free in material world and also in our perspective in life. For example, we see that different ways how we can work emerge, like that we don't need to be tied to specific location. New forms of relationships, identities, even very extravagant fashion choices arise, and everyone tries basically to scream that you can do anything in this lifetime. So this is normal that we have this big tendency, and all our humanity just needs to learn and get this energy of total freedom. Let's start by even understanding whether you want freedom and what it means to you. Because most of the time, when people think, I just want to be free, you literally imagine something very specific. For example, you are very tired of your job that requires you to be in one location, to work really hard. You have maybe a lot of commitments, deadlines, and when you think about freedom, you have just this one thing. I just want to have a job where I can have more free time, or uh, occupation where I can travel around the world and not be attached, or relationship where I'm not limited to one person, maybe even. So think about what freedom means to you, and maybe it's actually not that you want total freedom in life, but you want a specific change in specific area in your life. And this is very important to recognize, because if you're all the time thinking in your head, I want freedom, you will literally get it if you really want it. But let's then explore what freedom truly means. But before that, let me just shortly tell about myself. I'm myself Aquarius girl, which means that I always strive for freedom. I like to be independent. I love to go against the crowd, make innovations, and come up with something new. And for me, it was a big breakthrough in life to just say no to many things that were norm and common in society, like after university working a stable job and always thinking about your career. I needed to disappoint many people, like my family, and resist this urge to stay in one place and do what is safe, because I felt this deep desire to just go my own path and do what I want instead of doing what everyone else wants. And of course, if you also have this urge that you're not here in this life to do what is common to do, what everyone is doing, but you want to go your authentic path, I also really encourage you to commit to this decision, to be brave, to be free. And so let me explain why. I believe that we can separate material freedom from actually spiritual freedom, because we want not the material freedom, we want the spiritual freedom. Because what it means to have material freedom, many people think that material freedom is about having so much money that you actually can spend and not ever think about it. But even the richest people in the world, they, in that sense, in material sense, are not free. The more money you have, the more you have responsibilities, the more money you need to count, the more you need to invest, and so on. That's why it's a myth that by having infinite amounts of money you will be feeling free inside. In the same way, someone may think that freedom is about not being attached to certain location and travel around the world, But if you are traveling to different countries, doing whatever you want, but inside of you, you have different contradictions, limitations, boundaries that are just eating you up inside out, you will not feel free. And actually, material freedom is about not having material things. Just listen, freedom, material freedom, free of material things. So, truly, if you want to be free, fully free in our material world where we exist, where we came here to learn and be here, is to say that I'm okay living somewhere in the forest, having no money, not being attached to anything. Then, yes, then you won't have any commitments, you won't have any responsibilities, tasks, worries. You'll be really free of the material things. But do we really want it? In my opinion, most of us came here to experience the material attachments as well. And that's why we fall into this trap that we want material freedom, which is actually not what we want. But so, what do we actually want? I believe that what we truly want is the spiritual freedom. It is the state where no matter how much money you have, you feel abundance inside of you because you have abundant energy and view of life. It's when you can be in one country, always be in one location, but you have this inner knowing that in any point of time you can say bye bye to everything and travel anywhere, and you have no fears to do it. You know that you can do anything and everything is possible. And even though on a material world it may seem that you're stuck, I believe that these are two separate things, because you can have all kinds of material freedom, abundance, and so on, and be totally captivated in your cage of limitations in your head, and vice versa. You can have pretty not that much of material things, but you can be very free spirited and open minded. That's why it's so important to describe for yourself what it means to live freedom based lifestyle. For example, it can be that you have a job that is not tied to a location, but you still have a job that gives you consistently some kind of money. Or maybe you have a relationship with another person, but it is a very healthy one where you don't restrict each other. You give yourself time to be yourself and the other person, and so it's not a fully free relationship where everyone just does what they want, but it is some kind of specific desires in a specific context that you want. Because if you would want full freedom in your relationship, it would actually mean that you have an open relationship where no one requires to tell you, warn about anything. They can travel tomorrow, yesterday, and you wouldn't even know about that. So figure out what are your true desires and what you're ready to do for it. For example, if you want to earn a lot of money in this lifetime, you will need to understand it. You will need to put a lot of energy into financial planning, into creating the business, in managing people. It is what you trade for this freedom. And oftentimes it's not just even about freedom, because you think you go away from a stable job to create your business, but in the end you're working even more sometimes. I believe it's not about the freedom itself, but that you are just doing what you authentically want to do. And the freedom actually just comes from the fact that you allow yourself to do whatever you want and to be whatever you want, and you also allow others to do these things themselves. While we're working on our material desires, just going our authentic path, we should also work on our spiritual freedom at all times to maintain this healthy balance of material and spiritual. How you can do it? While you're building your business, going after your goals, traveling, you notice where you have some kind of limitations, your fears, your doubts, your judgments towards others. And spiritual freedom is about letting those things go, becoming fearless, that you know that you're safe, you're supported, you're protected in doing whatever you want. It's about releasing doubts because you know that you can be imperfect. It's about allowing all other people to do whatever they want and not judging, even if people do crazy things these days, completely out of the system of your beliefs. And then also an interesting point is that we are often sabotaging our freedom, our success, realization of our goals because we understand if we commit to true freedom, to true success, we will need to do something, we will need to be brave, we will need to be fearless. That's why it's very, very useful to work not only on just doing, but also on processing your emotions and working on your mindset. Okay, to summarize everything that I talked about, here are three things you should do to tap into the freedom frequency. First of all, understand what freedom means to you when it will be fulfilled in your life. Second thing, understand that there are two parts of the freedom, material one and spiritual one. What are you ready to trade to get this material freedom, and what you need to still work on to get this spiritual freedom? And third, really work on your limitations, boundaries, judgments towards others. Write down everything that might be limiting you in your life and just work on it. In the end, spiritual freedom will feel like everything is possible. I can do anything. The world has infinite money possibilities. And I think that is what we all truly strive for. Let me know in the comments what you think about it, and share this video for more people to be able also to tap into this freedom frequency and write your insights. That will be amazing energy exchange for you, also commenting something on this video. And my name is Samantha. On this channel I'll talk about spirituality, self-development. I organize different events in Latvia, Riga, where I'm located now. I'm also bachata teacher, ecstatic dance and intuitive dance facilitator, and I have my signature spiritual game Reheart that opens hearts and raises vibration. Thank you for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye.